Hi my friends, welcome to this video. Today's video is a little different. Well, not entirely, but it's a little different because I'm talking directly to you guys, and this is fun, right? Today's video is different because I kind of want to do a bit of reflection with you guys. So we're in November, which means that 2023 is technically almost over because December is literally just around the corner, and then we'll be done and dusted with a year, right? And usually around this time, a lot of us feel like, oh my God, I have failed. I have not done anything this year. I have not achieved anything this year. Where did time go, right? And all of us just end up just wallowing in the things we wish we achieved, in the things that we didn't get to experience. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to go over things that went well, right? Um, for me, 2023 was rough. The start of it was very rough. I themed this year my year of contentment. And when it started, I was not very content with a lot of things that was happening. I was sick for at least half of the year. And that's not the most content case to happen to anybody. My body hadn't broken down that much in like a long time. So like it took a toll on me, on my business, and everything else that I just had going, because everything had to be on pause so that I can go ahead and then heal properly, right? So that wasn't the most content part of my year, but I am content because then I learned new things about my body. Then I learned new things that could go wrong again. This year as well, after my sickness, well, in the middle of my sickness, I got married. Miraculously, I healed right before the wedding day, and then right after I went back to sickness. It's just, my body's like, you know what, I'm gonna spare you for like a week. Once this is over, we'll go back to our usual setting. And that happened. It was really memorable. It was unique. It was a small gathering. It was intimate, close family and friends, and it was beautiful, right? And then right after that, things kind of slowed down. I went back to work, back to my usual grind, right? And it's been a slow and steady year. There are a lot of things that went right, a lot of things that went wrong, relationships that went down in the mud that are now resurrecting, new relationships that I formed. But I want to talk about some things that I want to repeat next year. And these are like some habits that will absolutely transform how you see the world. Because when I went through all these things that happened to me, I lost a lot of friends, I lost a lot of people. I basically became a different person when I came out of my situation. And I just had to cultivate certain habits. Some were already like there, but some I had to like bring it out all together to be able to, you know, move forward in life and not like stay at the same place. I wrote my points down so I am not blubbering a lot. So let's get into it. The first one is having a morning routine. Having a morning routine is something that I have kind of grown into. Having a morning routine kind of sets the tone for your day. So my morning routine usually consists of like mostly a short time of just spending time with God, maybe just listening to worship or just sitting quietly and just meditating. And then after that, I'm going to do my skin routine, which doesn't happen all the time. Doesn't happen all the time. But I definitely will go and sit down somewhere and soak some sunlight into my body just to wake my body up, right? And then do my skincare routine, take a shower, have my morning coffee. I I got a coffee machine this year because it got that intense. And then I can now sit down and say, okay, what's on my to-do list for today? Write that down and then start my day. That just kind of gives you some time, right, to start your day right without having to just dive straight into the day and be like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm doing, blah, 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 stuff like that. It just helps you to, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Let's move on. Maintenance and hygiene. That is a habit I cultivated this year. How clean you look, how clean your space looks, determine how you feel mentally, right? So I have learned to just keep my space generally clean. I'm not talking about waking up in the morning and scrubbing everything or wiping down the doors. No. Just keeping your space and yourself generally clean. Smell good. Like, wear good clothes in the house. Don't say, oh, because I'm home, I'm not going to look nice. Wear good clothes in the house. I decluttered my wardrobe this year and took out a lot of clothes that I seldom wear and just kept a few clothes that I knew I was going to wear in the house. And I kept them clean. I wore them when they're dirty. I cleaned them. That just kind of keeps me in check on the things I should wear at home, and then how presentable I should look at home. But if you don't have any system as to how you should look, you'd end up just throwing anything and everything on, and then you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I don't even feel good today. It's because you don't look as good as you should feel. The better you look, the better you feel. That's a quote for me. The better you look, the better you feel. Quoted by Ye, right? So that's one thing I'm definitely going to repeat next year. The next thing, which was big for me last year, is listen, pause before you respond. I repeat that. Listen, pause before you respond. I am an introverted extrovert. When I'm around new people, I don't talk as much. I try to understand the circle that I'm in before I start voicing my opinions. But when I'm around people I'm already comfortable with, I blabber. Oh my days, I could go on and on and on. Somebody has to stop me and be like, shut up. But that was one thing I had to cut off doing last year, because my talking got me into a lot of trouble. Even when I did not mean it to be taken the way it was took, right? But just because I talked a lot without actually pausing, processing what I'm going to say before I speak, I said a lot of things that came from the top of my head that I didn't think, ugh, if somebody else heard this, they would be mad. If the person I'm talking about heard this, they would be mad. Sometimes we say things without necessarily thinking, oh, it's just for the person I'm telling ears. But you never know. People talk. And that person is going to go somewhere and tell somebody else and quote you. And it's just going to keep going on. And it's going to circle back to you. And you wouldn't like what you are hearing. Or you wouldn't like the confrontation that comes with that. You wouldn't like the feeling of hurting somebody just because you said something small, right? So this year I've had to practice a lot of listen, process, pause, and then respond, because it's necessary. Even with WhatsApp, Instagram messages, type the response, I read it and I process it and I'm like, ugh, you sound aggressive or you sound rude, right? Rewrite that or change the tone that you're using before I press send. But sometimes in the heat of the moment, someone says something, you don't process it correctly, you don't pause a little, you just do da 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 da, send, and then you send it, and then you bite yourself back forever because you cannot unsend that message, or they've seen it already. Sometimes I forget, and in the heat of the moment I respond, and then I will like, ooh, unsend or edit, and then I edit that. But in situations where you're actively talking to the person in person, you cannot delete or unsend. You can say, oh, sorry, my bad, but it doesn't change the feeling that it gives to the person that you're talking to. So next year I'm definitely going to listen, pause before I respond. The next one, we're number 5, right? Number 5 is financial planning. Financial planning. I used to be a dump all your money in one place girl. If my salary came, it's all in one account. And then if I need something, I just take it from there. But I realized that doing that made all my money finish in like 3 days. And then I'm waiting for the next pay, right? So what I did this year, what I learned to do this year was to separate how much money I'm spending on each thing in my life. So I had percentages from savings. I saved 40% of my total income every month. I had money for groceries, I had money for transportation, I had a percentage for, I think, shopping, and I had a percentage for vacation. And I split that out on the various things I needed. Some are like 5%, some are 10% based on how important those things were to me. And that really helped me because it just kind of instilled discipline in me to tell me that you don't have any money there. Savings are not for eating. Savings are not for spending, so I don't spend my savings. I keep them saved up. Yeah, I have like 2 minutes left, so let's finish. Developing a rest routine, right? Developing a rest routine will help you to just refresh your mind. This year I went on a lot of Instagram breaks. I randomly just delete the app from my phone for like 2 months or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, just so that I can replenish my creativity, because at some point I was consuming so much content that it's just unnecessary, and it flooded my mind. And if I try to be creative, creativity is not there. Just go on breaks from social media, take some time off. Every day scrolling, consuming content, every day pressing TikToks and stuff like that. It is fun to do in the moment, but after that your body it's just like having a coffee in the morning. You get a boost of energy, and then halfway through the day it's like you're reclining. That is how consuming content on social media is. Like, the English word isn't coming, but like, be selective about the contents that you consume. I unfollow a lot of people, not because I am mean or petty, but I just don't want to see your content anymore. It does not benefit me in any way. Do you understand? So that is one thing that you should do. That is one thing you should consider doing. Take breaks, practice active rest. The last one is to speak positivity. This year, a lot of things I wanted came to pass, not because of any magic. All I knew was that I speak a lot of positivity. I'm Christian and I believe in the power of the tongue. I believe in prophesying things over yourself. I believe in praying the things you want into existence, right? So for me, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of just not saying the things I want, but actually going ahead and working towards them, manifesting in my life, and just not merely, how do you say that? I've forgotten the word. Not merely just saying the thing over yourself and just waiting for the universe to make it happen. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. The next thing is discipline and consistency. Discipline and consistency. Staying disciplined and consistent, especially in the face of slow progress, has been crucial. Has been very crucial. Sometimes you work, you're looking for a particular result and it's not coming. And then you're like, where's my results, man? But this year I practiced a lot of just patience when it came to the things that I wanted for myself, for my work and everything. I just practiced a lot of patience. I saw slow progress and I celebrated those slow progresses. A lot of good things, a lot of big things happened this year, but I didn't only celebrate the big things. I also celebrated the small wins, the small victories. I'm learning to take compliments positively. That's a small victory that I'm celebrating. And so those are like a few things that I'm definitely taking into next year. And I hope you are also taking a few notes on things that you're absolutely taking into next year. So yeah, that's it for me. I'm looking forward to what next year has in stock. And thank you all for being on this YouTube journey with me. I started this in July and I have about 100 and something of you rooting for me, always watching my videos, always supporting me. I love you. Thank you very much. And let's make 2024 a banger. This is the year life signing out with a warm, comforting embrace. Bye.